A New York jury found on Tuesday that Donald Trump sexually abused the advice columnist E. Jean Carroll in a New York department store changing room 27 years ago. The verdict, for the first time, legally brands a former U.S. president as a sexual predator. But as it's the result of a civil, not a criminal case, the only legal sanction Trump will face is financial. The jury deliberated for less than 3 hours, and it awarded around $5 million in compensation and punitive damages, around $2 million on the sexual abuse count, and close to $3 million for defamation for branding her a liar. Donald Trump claimed just a few days ago, when he was in Ireland, that he was planning on coming to Manhattan to face his accuser, to deal with it. But of course he chickened out.
Where I have great properties, I have to leave early. I don't have to, but I choose to.
Will you attend the trial, Mr. President?
I'll probably attend. It's a disgrace that it's allowed to happen. It's called false accusations against a rich guy, or in my case, against a famous, rich, and political person that's leading the polls by 40 points. And I have to go back for a woman that made a false accusation about me, and I have a judge who's extremely hostile. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to confront this one. This woman is a disgrace, and it shouldn't be allowed to happen in our country.
Imagine living in Donald Trump's contradictory mind, where up is down and down is up. The upside-down mind of Donald Trump, where he just lies in public spaces and on video in such a way that when we play it back, we have to ask ourselves, did he really say that? Did he really say that he had to leave Scotland early? That he had to. I have to leave early, he said. He looked annoyed. He looked frustrated. He was on the golf course. You know, this rape trial was getting in the way of him being Donald Trump and doing his thing. I have to leave early. And then in the very next line, he contradicts himself by saying, I don't have to, but I choose to. Well, a moment ago you said you have to leave early and you were really upset about it. So why are you now saying that you don't have to and that you choose to? He says, I'll probably attend the trial. Probably. Again, this contradictory language where you can't nail him for anything. I don't have to go, but I have to go. I might go, maybe I won't go. I'll be there, I'll see you there, but I might not be there. I mean, who talks like this? It's almost like he is so used to being incriminated that he has to kind of present himself in a way where you can't really kind of pin him down. Because he never really is clear about his intentions. Donald Trump did not face his accuser. He never stood in front of her and said, I am innocent. He claims these are false accusations against a rich guy. And isn't this the crux of all of this? From Donald Trump's perspective, he refers to being a rich guy. And that is the reason why a woman whose life has been ruined by an event that took place when they were both younger, that is why she shouldn't accuse him. That is why it is wrong for her to accuse him, because he is a rich guy. And then he went on to say that he is famous, rich, and political. So that means, as far as Donald Trump is concerned, that nobody who is famous, rich, and political should ever be accused of anything, certainly not sexual assault, because he is such a important, rich, political person that it is an insult to him. And he pretty much said that, didn't he? How insulting it is. And this is what he hates about E. Jean Carroll. This is what he hates about the 26 other women that have accused him of some kind of sexual impropriety. He hates the fact that he has to answer to it. He hates the fact that there are laws. He hates the fact that there, in this case, is a case that is actually finally being heard and that he has been caught by the legal system, and that he can't pay somebody off as he did with Stormy Daniels or Karen McDougal. This is the thing that annoys him so much. It's not the fact that he sexually assaulted somebody. That is not the issue. He is completely blind to that. As far as he's concerned, he probably thinks that he's such a great lover that they must have enjoyed it, so how can anyone complain about that? No, the thing that he doesn't understand, and the thing that drives him insane, is the fact that there is a legal system that prevents people like him, predators, from going about their business, that this is against the law, that he might be accused of something, he might be found guilty, and he might have to pay the price. That is the thing that frustrates him the most, because he is a famous, rich, and political man. And as far as he's concerned, the rules don't apply to him. And it's very telling, isn't it? You know, Donald Trump always says the quiet stuff out loud. You would never expect him to say, you know, how dare she make an accusation against a rich guy? Just think about that. Like, who says that? Who in their right mind says that out loud? You might think it, but to say it, that proves how much of an imbecile he is. It proves how huge his ego is. It proves the malignant narcissism that all of these psychiatrists have diagnosed him with, because they recognize that it is not normal to behave like this, showing no remorse, not in any way wanting to engage with any of those that are accusing him of sexual misconduct. And this is the point with Trump, isn't it? That it's Trump's way or the highway. And he ran his presidency like that, he ran America like that, and America is now suffering because of it. And if you don't yet realize how Donald Trump is perceived on the world stage, how other countries look at Donald Trump and see what a fool he is, what a liar he is, what an imbecile he is, and what a joke he is. You know, he made a speech famously at the United Nations and just got laughed at. And kind of conceded, well, I wasn't expecting that. I mean, he claimed that he'd done more for the country than any president in history in the last year. I mean, he lives in a parallel universe. And sadly, the people that are in the Trump cult, the people that follow him desperately, who are obsessed with every word that he says, or even those who are prepared to give some of his actions a pass because they want him to lead the Republican Party, they are the ones who are facilitating somebody as evil as this. And when I say evil, I don't kind of take that word lightly. He is evil. And if you take a look at the testimony that he gave in November last year against this E. Jean Carroll trial, the look on his face, the way he handled the questions, his distaste for the whole thing and for the rule of law was such that really does show the true measure of this man. It's a look that you didn't really get to see when he's on stage at a rally or pretending to be the president. You can see that he is a very unhappy, disgruntled, insecure man. And to be accused by a woman of something, and for it to go through the court system and there's nothing he can do about it, that frustrates him more than anything else. I'm Anthony Davis. You can hear me every day on the 5-Minute News podcast and on Sundays on The Weekend Show with MeidasTouch.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.